Alrighty guys, I have one more deck tech for you. This is Blue Red Tempo. Previously I showed you Mono Blue Reservoir. This is another budget deck. Let's see what it tells us in terms of the cost. Yeah, like you can get it around 100 bucks both online and on paper. Now it's a beer mine. I think it's more or less well refined. It actually features all necessary ingredients, I think, to make the deck tick. And yeah, you can definitely play around with the numbers and bring your own spice to it. I haven't tested it yet, but I think it will actually work better than Mono Blue Reservoir, because this deck has a bit more play to it, and it's kind of more interactive. A low land count, but you have ops and you have planning to actually set it up. You have sensors to cycle, and yeah, your curve is super low. Basically, you kill off mainly with serpents or drakes, sometimes riddle forms, and then things like Kefnets out of the sideboard. The curve is really low, as you can see here. Then what else? Yeah, couple of hits with a Drake or a Serpent plus some burns might be enough. Just an interesting concept, I think. And let's now switch to the visual view. I don't think you can reindent the mana base much more. At least you have like two sets of duels in these colors. One is a tapped land, but so be it. A lot of enemy color decks will struggle anyway, and yeah, this is where we're at. You have 4 sensors and 4 buffs just because of Barals. You have unsummons for all the aggressive decks, plus it actually helps you to bounce back one of your win cons. You can even bounce Riddle form when it's in creature form, and yeah, I could play some more 1-mana spells, but I don't see what it could be. You have Rebuff over Scatter and Negate, because those are more fit for the sideboard, for matchups where the games will last a bit longer than usually, but this should be enough. And then when you think like, yeah, they'll bring in a lot of removal to deal with your main win cons, then okay, you can bring in like all those negates and Pales Pierce and Scatter for Teamer mostly, I suppose. Maybe you could squeeze in like one Scatter main and then have extra negate on the sideboard. I'm not sure about the numbers here. Maybe you want more sprays, but I think with 4 shocks it's kind of okay. I think you do want Sweltering Suns in this deck because it doesn't touch your main win cons. Kefnet should be huge in this deck, I feel like. Though I'm not totally convinced, maybe extra Chandras or the blasting cannons might be better. Don't know if you really need a upgrade in this deck at all, but time will show. As I said, I haven't tested this out, but I have put a lot of thought into it. But it's not like this is the final form. But yeah, really like the Baral in this deck. One of the revelations that I came up with when I thought about this deck. Planning actually helps you to fuel in the Serpents and Drakes. There's a chance that you might want Hazoret in this deck, but right now I don't know how you can incorporate it into this build. Riddle form just a bit better for this deck. Maybe even want more than 2, but I'm not sure. It's kind of like a little bit clunky, and drawing multiples could be kind of awkward. But yeah, Baral lets you loot and feed your Serpents and Drakes. And looting will be basically accomplished by actually casting sensors and rebuffs. You have some artifacts in the format, but not too many, so the downside of running rebuffs is actually pretty small right now, I think. Okay, with the Hulks is kind of awkward, but anyway, it counters all their interaction. And yeah, I think the deck is pretty sweet and pretty smooth. You know, having like a Baral into the 1 mana counter, or into 1 mana strike, or when you think like you need to find serpents or drakes, you just go turn 3 like Baral into planning and try to find those. You can actually pick up any cards with planning, which is pretty nice. You can even pick up a riddle form if you are on the like really tempo plan against certain matchups. Really love these concepts. I think this deck deserves some consideration, some testing. It might not be the next big thing or next great revelation in the format, but it's a budget deck that's pretty sweet and has a lot of play to it. It's pretty fast and it's pretty cheap, so it's up to you folks. But yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, check out previous videos, and I'll see you next time. Until the next sale, goodbye folks.